Hi guys, it's Alan. It's so dark. Got there. Anyway, it's Wednesday, and a little after, 11:45. I was gonna um, go downtown today just to do my yearly thing, uh, insurance and all that. But I guess the place to go I got a phone call around 8 something, and then I got a phone call saying that the computers were down, and that can happen. So I was glad they called and let me know. I was going to go in there just to let them know about my medication and sign my insurance and everything, get all set. But I guess, and that happens where the computers and the electric gets computers won't start, won't work or something. So thankfully, I got a phone call from um, well, I won't say his name, but just got my friend. And, actually, I met her once, but anyway, nice that she called and let me know. So we're going tomorrow. Um, but anyway, just so anyway, I don't know why I went off into that because I looked at the time and I realized, yeah, I was planning to head down there and be there at 11, so I have to be there at 10 tomorrow. But anyway, so and anyway, it's weird when everything about the FBI. This is a couple days after the attempt on the life of our president. Well, of the President Trump, I should say, the next president probably, and how the FBI and Secret Service and all the federal government is really trying to, like Tucker Carlson said, and it's not trying to be Democrat versus conservative. It's just honest. If you align yourself with one group, then it's very emotionally, when you have them, then it's too easy to ignore evidence. But when you're trying to be honest, that's it, just being honest. Then you can look at both sides of evidence and just say what is, whether it's Occam's razor or it's when you're a part of the PI program. There's some stuff that can seem, out there, and some stuff that is done to you intentionally. That when you describe the symptoms or describe what was happening, it's designed to make you sound nutty. Sorry about the lighting here. Some of the stuff, and my God, it's not just me saying weird stuff. I mean, I literally have got probably a good 20 books, at least 10 ebooks. Federal Targeted Individual Program. This is Havana Syndrome. Targeted Individual Program is what they called it at the bioethics, the White House bioethics program. The people that were being experimented on, like in this book, it says The Invisible Crime, a targeted individual synthetic telepathy. Remember, Elon Musk calls the chip in the head to help handicapped people, calls it telepathy. That's the good purpose for this chip in the head because it can help handicapped people. But sometimes to get that grant money for scientists and for universities, they have to find a purpose for the government, the military. So can they weaponize something good to hurt people? And that's where targeted individual synthetic telepathy and global criminal biomedical human experimentation. Okay? Now, it sounds too weird. If you are a person who thinks you're level-headed and, I'm not going to buy that, what do you think I am, a fool? It's like, look, our government does this. They did it with MK Ultra. And even if you're liberal, like I had some years of, thinking because I was against justification for the Iraq War. Didn't know why Christopher Hitchens was so much for it, but because he was trying to protect the Kurds against fanatical violent forms of Islam. But anyway, that's all. justification for it, kind of like Trump. And then Trump started saying, hey, the justification for this was, and then you go into 9/11. I won't go into all that stuff. When you've been raised to think our government, for the most part, tries to do good, and then you realize sometimes they do try to do good, and sometimes they try to use some of that 2 billion or 2 trillion missing money to do whatever the hell they want to see if they can, to see if they can buy their way out of any trouble. Um, and it seems like a lot of times they can, unless a church committee happens, unless they allow it. It's kind of like Havana Syndrome. I'm so thankful for whatever reason that the deep state allowed it. I'm so thankful for them for after 30 years of torture, they allowed me to find out what it was, that it was a directed energy, just to see if what radiation does to the body again, like MK Ultra, you know, to see what radiation does and to see what synthetic telepathy for some targeted individuals, and to see what the effects, and to see if they can buy off some of the people in local government to not report it, to not tell the truth to the patient or hospitals or doctors or the people. When you're a child, you have adults that you look up to and trust, like hospitals and doctors and your teachers and city hall and the police, and then you find out after being tortured, they make fun of you for not knowing that they were doing this. You're tortured in pain, and they're chanting they're going to drain the swamp. And they're not draining the swamp. They're more corrupt than the people in Washington, D.C. that are taking, because they're not torturing people mostly in Washington. They're just getting bribed and hookers. But the people in your town are tortured. Oh, goody, I'll be right there. Okay. Anyway, my mom's home, so I will call you guys and talk tomorrow. Other good books: Surviving and Thriving as a Targeted Individual, Kathy Meadows. Controlling the Human Mind by Dr. Nick Begich. His dad was like a senator from Alaska. And it talks about the same technology. Look it up on Amazon. This stuff is real, but most people haven't heard of this stuff until Havana Syndrome came out in the news. And our government's known about it for years, 60 years, but they've kept it under wraps. I remember Rumsfeld was asked about it. Can you tell us about directed energy weapons? And he passed it off to another. And it's like, well, we're not ready to talk about that yet. It's like, yeah. Because it's a big, once they get that stuff, yeah. Good night, Gracie. Anyway, I gotta go help my mom with groceries, so I'll talk to you guys later.